You keep on falling down.
You gotta pick yourself up and fix your hair, take it in the air and do that walk
Into the room where faces
hang like picture frames and everybody's beady eyes are stuck on you.
go make them drool, go make them
Swear to make them eat you every last word till you're almost out of breath.
until you're almost out of breath.
Well, just the start we were looking for at the Britannia Stadium. Now it's all about building on it in the first home game of the campaign. The West Midlands versus the North East, the Villains versus the Magpies. Difficult to know which Newcastle will turn up. An inconsistent outfit over the last few years, but a new look side gave champions Manchester City a run for their money last weekend. On this week's pre-match show, we recall some of last season's highlights here as Paul Lambert's team looked to make Villa Park a fortress. We have some comment from last week's goalscorer Andy Weimann and the man who kept the clean sheet, which helped clinch all 3 points, Brad Guzan. Analysis of the opposition's chief threats with Steve Froggatt. Froggy, who are the main men to look out for this week?
Well, again, we're looking at new boys. The big one never played last weekend, and everyone in the North East is talking about this boy, Siem de Jong. A big money signing from Ajax. He's Dutch international, Ajax captain, a record of 1 in 3 games he scores. He's what everyone's talking about, and they missed him last weekend. It was a good performance from Newcastle at home last weekend, even though they got nothing from it. But they're looking at this boy as the icing on the cake for them. They think he could transform Newcastle's season.
Yeah, his compatriot, Ron Vlaar, knows all about him. He himself, a key figure.
Yeah, well, after Ron's outstanding World Cup and outstanding opening day performance against Stoke, I'm not sure if he does play, he'll fancy playing against the big fella. So it'd be really key. They've got new players. Remy Cabella, we'll talk about him. Another new boy. He's quick, lively. We saw that last weekend. And British signing, Jack Colback, who's made the move from the Mackhams to the Geordies, which probably hasn't gone down too well, but he was terrific on the first game of the season. And I think somebody who Roy Keane will know quite a lot about as well.
On the phone-in that
Yes.
you do this week, you've had lots of optimism, lots of positivity from the Aston Villa supporters, which is great to hear.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks before, it's all doom and gloom. You know, obviously everyone's talking about this possible sale and everything else. But until the season starts, you don't know how your team's going to do. You don't know how the new signing's going to bed in. No one knows anything. So you've got to give everybody a chance.
Yeah.
So this week, it was lovely to hear a few with a bit of humble pie and starting to think, I'm actually the amount of calls were, actually, I've started to get a little bit excited now about Villa's chances this season. Impressed with the new signings, the experience we've got. Oh, and Sanchez coming into the team now, Joe Cole playing in under 21s.
Yeah, he came through nearly 75 minutes.
Corey as well, another one coming back into the scene. There's a bit of optimism. Now, if we can build on that with another victory or a positive result against Newcastle, then everything looks quite rosy, and we may look forward to a decent season this year.
It was a great start, but only a start.
Of course.
You feel that Villa are better equipped, though, don't you, this year to build on what was a positive opening? You know, rather 12 months ago against Arsenal, they played well for a couple of matches and then dipped, but now they look like they've got a better unit in place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not one to ever get carried away, but I'm not one to be negative before the season starts. And I said, let's see what pans out. I'm really positive at the start of every season because everything could be completely different to last year. And the thing that I got more excitement about at the team wasn't an attacking show or anything. It was the way they defended in the face of tough opposition, a difficult place to play, and they manned it out. They fought like lions for the 90 minutes. And there was not one person in that ground that walked away from that ground and didn't say we deserved the 3 points.
Yeah, you felt they were well capable once they went ahead of seeing the job done, of seeing it through.
Yes.
And that is massively encouraging, isn't it, for the rest of the campaign?
It is for Jack, because how many times could we have said that last year? If we went 1-0 up ahead, you sat there crossing your fingers that we could keep a clean sheet and stay in the game until the final whistle. The experience we had across the entire back line, you look at the signings and the experience of the players we've got coming into the squad now, that's good. And the younger players within the squad will feed off that. Yeah. And they will feed off the experience of the older players. And obviously, we keep mentioning the Roy, and Roy was getting a lot of compliments on the phone-ins this week. And as I keep saying, let's not forget who brought him into the football club, and that was the manager, Paul Lambert. So I think both deserve a lot of praise.
The first of 3 home games in a week, and we'd encourage any fans who are just umming and ahhing, they're not quite sure about the early start, it's on the telly, we'd love them here to make it that cauldron of noise and work on the atmosphere because the players can feed off that.
Yeah, I gather there'll be a great deal of trepidation. People coming to the ground for the first time. Fans will remember what happened at the home games last year and how disappointing it was over the whole of the season. I think you'll get a few that maybe weren't going to come, actually would like to come to the game this weekend, because I think it'll be an exciting game, because Newcastle, I think, will make it entertaining.
Yeah.
They won't come and defend. We see with the players they'll come and attack. They'll come to want to win the game. And when players come to us, I think that's when we're at our best, because at times against Stoke on the counter-attack, even though we're more solid at the back, we still have the flying machines and the pace to go in the other direction and hurt opposition. Absolutely.
Much more to come from Steve Froggatt in our pre-match show. Villa certainly due a win over the Tynesiders. Let's hope it comes on Saturday when another former winger, legend Tony Morley, is with me in the commentary box. We'll see you then.